Hello again, folks, and welcome back to Let's Play Pathfinder Wrath of the Righteous. I'm your Game Master Darius. Last we left off, we had arrived back in Dresden, I think, frick, and a bunch of things had become more clear to me about what happens when you had turned off or turned on Auto Crusade mode. A lot of things just stop working. It's great like that, but in any case, we slew a dragon, and now we have saved the Storyteller, and now the Storyteller is gonna yap our goddamn ears off. Oh, Sauciel not there. Oh yeah, it did say that it was gonna be there at nights. Well, we'll talk to the Storyteller first, because I feel he is more important. Seen as he actually has things I care about. You know, boons and the like. And I wish the traveling in the town was a little bit faster, but yeah, whatever. Alright, Storyteller. Greetings, Errant the Cold Heart. Have you brought me a new story? Want to discuss our encounter in the Dragon's Lair? Sure you do. You're wondering how I ended up there and why I wasn't killed, am I right? Why did you go to the tower? I've been looking for a certain tower for several years now, and in that place I have a strange feeling of recognition. It seems that tower once belonged to me as a long time ago. Knowing my habits, I assumed that some records or other items that could answer the questions about my past may have remained in my home. Unfortunately, I realized too late that the tower was now the lair of a monster. And how come it didn't eat you? Despite their beastly tempers, dragons are clever creatures, but their way of life does not lend itself to civilized conversation, which is why they do sometimes enjoy good chat, and even more, a good story. That was what saved me. I had to share a few of my stories with the dragon, hoping to win her over, or at least distract her. Did you find anything of value? Yes, thanks to you, the dragon didn't have time to burn everything. I found the memories of my previous life, which I had forgotten long ago. Ah, now everything's clear. Once again, please accept my gratitude for the miraculous rescue. I hope I never again have cause to meet a creature as ferocious as that dragon. I found a page. Yes, you are right. Another piece of evidence from the past I have forgotten. If you find more pages like this, please bring them to me. Maybe by putting them together, I'll be able to... Another page? Another page. Clenches the pages he brought, his voice becomes a bit younger and more energetic. My hand touches the stone wall. The cold pierces my palm like the teeth of a hungry dog sinking into a piece of meat. I don't take my hand away. I let the stone enjoy my warmth in return for its service. It accepts my caress and my unasked question, the one it's been asked thousands of times before. Where should I go next? Behind me I hear the loud stomping of the minotaurs that guard this god's forsaken place. I tricked and outwitted them, leaving only a trace of my presence. There was darkness lurking up behind, honing its swords, claws and teeth in the hope that a rare traveler visits its lair, but today it will get no one. The labyrinth is alive. Its red-veined stone walls resemble the guts of a huge creature. If you keep still and listen closely, you can hear it breathing in the wind that sweeps through this place. Where do I go from here? Forward, to the place where whence the wind carried a faint chuckle. Whence comes the faint smell of ash. Whence a few ages ago, Demon Lord Baphomet began his great escape. Baphomet, are you inside his labyrinth? Yes, I'm traveling through the Ivory Labyrinth. This is not the most pleasant of my journeys, but it is necessary to reach my goal. How are able to evade all the dangers of the Ivory Labyrinth? Have you forgotten who you're speaking to? I'm the last Archmage of Keonan. I have been to many dangerous places, and this is just one of the many. It won't be the last. What do you need from the Ivory Labyrinth? An answer to a question. A key to a secret, knowledge that can save many lives. A sliver of a smile appears on the Storyteller's lips. My kinfolk were weaklings and cowards. They ran from danger, but one stood up to my enemy. And Baphomet will give me the weapon to win. For several years, I thought about how to defeat Earthfall. Earthfall? Oh, right. The meteors. Oh, meteorites. My enemy has no flesh and is impossible to kill. It blazes through everything in its path. It doesn't enslave but destroys life itself, and I have found the answer. I know how to save my world. Earthfall came to destroy Galarian. Its strike was brutal and my world barely withstood it. But what if Earthfall was resisted by not one world but several worlds at once? What if Heaven or Elysium came to help the dying Galarian? If I manage to merge my world with another one, meld them together, the power of the disaster will weaken. The denizens of Galarian will be able to temporarily take shelter in the adjacent plane. Civilizations will not die. Our culture will continue to exist. We will not be forgotten. Baphomet, the cunning and insidious lord of Minotaurs, was once a captive in Asmodeus' prison, but only 10 years passed before Baphomet was able to escape, taking his own prison with him, which later became the Ivory Labyrinth. Such an achievement deserves respect and is the goal of my research. Moving matter between planes is what interests me now. I stop near strange symbols covering the wall of the labyrinth. I run my hand over them to ensure that they are real. Encrypted riddles drawn by Baphomet during his imprisonment. I take out a bark-covered notebook and painstakingly copy the symbols into it. Behind me, 2 minotaurs are fighting, deceived by the net of spells I was wrapped around myself like a blanket. Do you want to connect the planes? That's dangerous. Dangerous, difficult, almost impossible. But tell me, is this risk not worth the Thalassan Empire perishing before my eyes? Does Gongol, the Cyclops' kingdom, deserve death? What about the Aboleth Empire? I'm gonna question you on the Aboleth Empire part. Another plane will pay for saving Galarian. There will be wars, and then the new world will come. But we will survive. We will defeat Earthfall, and history will not condemn the victors. Yeah, no, I'm not... I don't know much about the Cyclops' kingdom, and... yeah, I'm not 100% sure about Thassalon, but, Aboleths? I'm gonna say no. No on that one. A bark-covered notebook, the one your mentor gave you? A woman later jokes up, yes. Blinded by my pride, I tore it to pieces when I thought I would not follow my kinfolk. I'm still not going to run, but the knowledge written in this notebook by my former mentor might serve my purpose. The elves managed to open a portal to Savorian and keep it open until all our people escape from Galarian. Their cowardice deserves disdain, but their knowledge is unquestionable. I returned to Gionin and gathered the pieces of my torn notebook. Now it is my sword aimed at the heart of the Earthfall. By combining the wisdom of elves and the cunning of Baphomet, I will save the world. What happened next? I copied the strange symbols in the notebook. I haven't the slightest idea what these scribbles mean. What was the future demon lord thinking when he wrote them, while he was imprisoned in a cell with no way out? Was he still in his right mind? I will need help to understand these notes, otherwise decrypting them might take more time than Pharasma has given me. One of the minotaurs behind me killed the other one, tore his heart out and devoured it. His bloodstained nose sniffs the air sharply. His bloodshot eyes shift from wall to wall. He senses a stranger, but he doesn't scare me. I'm certain of my powers and the spells hiding me. I've done my work and can now leave this place. Still I linger. What is the strange presence I feel behind me, like someone is watching me despite all my protective spells? Who are you? I ask carefully, not hoping for an answer. Darkness, a coy female voice whispers in my ear. Against my will, I shudder. The storyteller stops talking for a long while. The vision ended at the most interesting moment, didn't it? He says bitterly at last. Please find the rest of the pages for the bark-covered book. I must know what happened next. So is this just going to be a repeat? Yep. Yep. Glaring, cunning, insidious, already spoke. Thanks. Is there nothing more? Alright. Guess we're done then. Oh boy, I have a bevy of things I still need to do. Just a whole lot of handful of things to do. Oh, we're not done with the dragon hunt? Oh no, people do not know yet that the terror has ended. No doubt Irabeth will spread the news. Okay. Gotta go tell Irabeth the good news. Ding dong, the dragon's dead, dragon's dead, the dragon's dead. Ding dong, the dragon's really dead. I kind of wish that giant sword symbol would also have changed. Not saying, just saying. Commander, my people have reported some shifty looking characters hanging out on the cove not far from here. They invite passersby to go treasure hunting, promise them untold riches. Apparently there have been folks who bought their tails and went away with them. None have come back. Sounds like a place worth investigating. What do you reckon? Have there been many reports? A whole heap of them. In the world wound of ours, cultists, spies, crooks, and lunatics are all over the place. I usually don't report this kind of stuff to you. I just deal with it myself. Those treasure hunters. It gets telling me there's a special case, something that only you can deal with. Alright, tell me more. This is the place, the Murky Grotto. It marks a spot on the map. There are two of them, fat guy and a scrawny guy. Could be your everyday bandits, but if they're cultists. Anyway, I had to go check it out just to be safe. Alright, I'll look into it. Thank you for the report. More side quests. Oh boy. Champion, my heart rejoices to find you in good health. I know you have many important matters to attend to, but first, listen to me. Blunt, isn't he? Your exploits have inspired many. The priests of Dresden and Mindev preach until they grow hoarse, surrounded by crowds of soldiers and lay people. But they are beset by doubt. Should their words stir the soldiers' hearts, spur righteous anger and thirst for victory? Should they soothe war-weary souls like a healing elixir? Perhaps they should preach vigilance and remind the masses how dark and dangerous our adversary is. Tell me what you think, and I shall carry your word to the priests. The world must remember that it's in danger and everyone must help. I wish I could say it is bad to sow the seeds of fear in mortal hearts, but it would be a lie. Let them tremble, for they have much to fear. Let their fear strengthen their resolve and kindle their will to fight. Only by joining forces will we be able to hold back the onslaught of the abyss. So let none sleep in peace, lulled by a foolish dream that the war does not affect them. At this point I will remain silent. I dare not disturb you further, champion. Sometimes you just wish, don't you? I don't know if I'm pretty sure we would have gotten that one from Anivia. Yep. Irabeth. Hail, Commander. I've taken care of the dragon that was attacking our patrols. That's one less problem to contend with. Now we can take extra lookout off dragon duty and resign them to more useful tasks. Excellent work, Commander. Yeah. I gotta go. Anything for you? Nope. Anything out of you? Nope. Won't lie, I was kind of expecting more out of the storyteller, but I guess him thrusting experience into our faces might have been enough for the time being. That said, give me a hot second while I check something about checking out. You don't want to be shush. Alright. Thing not found. But I'm pretty sure it's just one of those things where it's like, I gotta now go back to him again. Talk to him again before I can do anything again. Let's see, it's still night, so I'll probably want to talk to Saucier. At this point, I'm mostly just keeping the dude on because his quest might give me more experience points. I don't know. 'Tis my thinking anyways. Okay. so where was he again? It's off to the side this way. No, bottom. Bottom? Where were you? Infiltrator. Nope, over to the side this way. I was way off. And I only just left him. There you were. So. Really? God damn it. So the thing with the storyteller is that he'll eventually allow us to look into the paths. Oh, please examine the items and carrying perhaps some of the kids. Let me tell. A gold bucket, an old thing created long ago by divine will, but the power that gives birth to it is lost with the darkness. However, the relic still lives on, though it has changed. I wonder what secret it is hiding. Would you like to know? Bring me 5 vials of magic essence. I'll revive this object and with it its story. Rings created by an inquisitive and free mind. As a rule, such people either become geniuses and creators of a new era or meet tragic ends. What was the fate of the creator of this object? We can find out together. 4 vials of magic essence and 2 bars of cold iron. 2 who were bound to this relic. One was an animal, the other man. But neither was the master of the other. They were brothers. A most intriguing tale. Do you want to hear it? 4 bars of cold iron. 2 demon... Oh, I do have demon blood. I think I actually just have 2 demon blood. Okay. Why is this one all red? I don't want to waste resources, so I want to have to go quick save. Pass encounter this. Yes. So broken buckle. The Covenant of the Inheritor, there's the name of this relic. This buckle once adorned the belt of a glorious knight from Mendev. It is the embodiment of a promise made to a young girl by a powerful deity. A great promise that has changed much in the world. So not only do we get a cool relic item, but also some experience points. When you touch this restored relic, a strange vision comes to you. It's as if you can see the events that happened to it in the past. A burning sensation spreads across your chest from the very spot where your mysterious wound sometimes opens. What is this? The influence of the storyteller's spells? Or is it something else? I had a vision. How strange. You are a remarkable mortal. No one has ever shared my visions before. What do you think caused it? Perhaps these things have something to do with your destiny, or the fate of someone related to you. I do not have an answer, only advice. Seek out such relics, look for what links them all, and you will know the truth. I have to go. Because I just want to look at this. Now that's half of the pair. Okay, it's a +1 heavy shield. Oosh. Okay, it's guys. What would you be under? It didn't auto-equip it, did it? Cloak, cleansing. Natural armor, press 3. Have I been ripped off? Game. Yep, that's the pieces of Rovagug. Or the stuff. These annoy me. What was I handed again? Yes, I forget the name of it. Covenant of the Inheritor. A symbol of Iomade, when placed on the belt, emits a holy aura. All party members in 30 feet get a +2 bonus to caster level checks made to overcome spell resistance. Their weapons become good aligned and count as if they were made of cold iron. Sweet. That's actually pretty damn good. Examine. Is it red because I can't restore it yet? Yeah, I can't select it, thus I can't restore it. The ring. Storyteller sets the ring fragment and the bars of metal on open palm. He clenches his fist, crumpling the metal-like paper, and pours essence from the vials over it. You feel terrible heat rising from the elf's hand, and when he opens his fingers, you see a beautiful ring. A remarkable object. It was created by a talented spellcaster and is able to summon beings from other planes, as if the boundaries set by Pharasma do not exist for it. It is a powerful and dangerous item, but it is created by an honorable person. That's probably why it's not used at the crucial hour. So we got a ring of summoning. Gotta go. Probably one of those things that I probably, yeah. Grants the rare ability to summon either axiomites or soul leaders. Randomly selected once per day, as if summoned by a summon monster 8 spell. All allies, including the wearer, within 30 feet gain a +2 bonus to weapon damage rolls, +2 on saving throws against attacks or made or effects created by chaotic creatures. That's bitchin'. More damage rolls? Or more damage? Yeah, that was funky. You know, you got stuff. You don't have stuff. Why not? So everyone within 30 feet of him, which should be pretty much anyone within melee range, is going to get the bonus. Oh, I don't know this thing. Assault, right? Have the pair. Now, where's that other trinket? I know what the icon looks like now. Ah, here it is. Nope, that's Faultless Daybreak. Which is, if I know how the hell the thing works now, is useless. Whomst has it? Serious inquiry. I feel like it just poofed out of my inventory. Did it just poof out of my inventory? Ah, frick. What was the name of this thing again? I really need... Okay, date from oldest to newest. Let's do it like that. Oldest to newest. How about newest to oldest? There we go. Can be used by this character. Okay. It's a usable item. Because we don't have plenty of those. Symbol Iomade when placed on the belt emits a holy aura. So I just have to have it on my person at basically all times. Okay. Is that effect? Yep. Holy symbol of Iomade. Overcomes spell resistance. Suppose that's still good for him. I would say it'd probably be better equipped on someone like, you know, a spellcaster. But, you know, then we don't get those good aligned bonuses to our weapons. It's funny because there is an optional rule, I think optional rule, where essentially a plus whatever weapon is the equivalency of a certain type of material. So like silver is equivalency of +1. Or like +1 is the equivalency of silver and so on and so forth. Hey, how's it going, Sauciel? The soldier stares at his cards in the dim light of a candle stub. Deal me 2 more. I'll double down. Coins clink as they land on the barrel. Deal me another one. What? Another one? You bluffing, you little shit? Wait until we lay down our cards and you'll see if I'm bluffing. You don't immediately recognize Sauciel's voice. In battle he is quiet and composed, but now you can hear furious, passionate excitement in his words. Fine, you scumbag, I call. Deal me another as well. Excitement, passion, and tension seem to hang over the improvised table. Seems like lightning is about to strike. Ain't nothing for now. Damn, I'm out. The soldier angrily throws his cards on the barrel. Go on, show us what you got. Read 'em and weep. Sauciel reveals his cards with a gloating laugh. Nothing but junk, I knew it, you holier-than-thou types can't bluff. I was, and you fell for it. With this, Sauciel slams a card on each of the soldiers' shoulders like epaulets, and places the rest of the cards on top of his opponent's head. Ah, you done it, you. The soldier grabs Sauciel by the collar, and the cleric immediately raises his fist as if he expected it. At this point, one of the other players spots you in the shadows. Hey, there's someone over there. We've been caught. Digs up. Let's bail. Candle stub is snuffed out. The cards are scattered to the mud. After a moment, only the embarrassed Sauciel remains. What are you doing here? His voice no longer holds excitement. We did nothing wrong. Well, tempers flared a bit, but it usually doesn't happen, I swear it. Do you think this is an appropriate place for a cleric to be spending his time? Where? Amidst the soldiers resting between battles, where I can monitor how they're coping with everything they've seen and done? Yes, I think it's a very appropriate place for a cleric. I know you would never lie to me, despite how much I kinda hate you, but I think you must be lying to yourself. You didn't come here to minister to the soldiers. Why else would I come here then? To win a copper or two? You said it yourself. The soldiers come here to unwind. Don't you need that too? Me? He blinks in confusion as if the thought hadn't crossed his mind. Then he bows his head. You're right, I'm sorry. My behavior was unworthy of a cleric of Shellen. I've been lying to myself, engaging in vices and passing off my selfishness as concern for my brothers in arms. It is unforgivable. I'm glad you realize that. Perhaps you should also confess it to your goddess. Yes, thank you for opening my eyes to my unworthy behavior. I'll go and pray for Shellen's forgiveness. Good night. Hey, more experience points.
Let us press on.
Let us press on. Oh man, I'm just remembering that we got a bevy of things to do outside. Still... Oh yeah, this is the new one. And 1 vial of magic essence, 4 bars of cold iron, and 2 vials of blood. I don't think I have the cold iron after... Yeah, no. I got the dark horn though. Actually, before I go off to adventure, I want to head back up really quickly, deposit a bunch of items that we have in our inventory because we don't need them at this exact moment. And then I'll go out and do shit. Part of me can't help but wonder whether or not Sauciel is just lying again. Maybe. Good chance of it. Good chance of it. Yes, thank you for opening my eyes to my unworthy behavior. I mean, I don't think that Shellen would absolutely hate the idea of just chilling out between battles, but at the same time, I think it's the whole lying to your commander part that really would get to Errant the most. Hold up. E8. Son of a bitch. I knew something was off. Because again, Sacred Weapon works as a tape on a table to make it so as you do the damage listed on the table. So yeah, you find yourself doing a lot less damage. Well, there's a reason for that. Alright, just pretty much gonna toss everything that's currently not helpful at the moment. Mercury skills. That's right, I wanted to see who I should give these to. And that's just +1 bonus on things. A lot of fireballs. There's a lot of spells in general. That's fine. Pipe. Is there anything in particular we needed? I don't think so. Things that make me wish that I was playing a different character. +2 against attacks with two-handed weapons. Light shield with any touch attack. An enemy suffers 2d6 damage. Adamantine full plate. Big game gloves. Alright, quarry. It's a whole lot of, there's a lot of stuff, and I don't have anything that's like, I need this explicitly. Oiga. +1 perception. That's just a bunch of knowledge stuff. Think we're overall good? Yeah, I think we're overall good. What I currently have on my person as just errant is plentiful enough stuff. Alright, first I actually sleep. I had to have, if all that's good. That's the animate dead, which I don't get why is spent. I'd never cast it, so. But I'm currently in a state of whatever. I want you on the team because you're a badass. I want you on the team because if we head north. Want you on the team in case of the puzzles. Want you on the team because fire is good. I think I wanted a Rouchelet for some reason. We'll take a Rouchelet. If only because I don't know what the hell I'm doing. And I don't think I've given her enough love. Of course, then again, I mostly replaced her because, you know, things and stuff. Spend more time with the common troops, or common soldiers. Okay, so now that we're back on this thing, I can get into what I currently hate about the auto crusade mode thing. It kind of sucks. So, as I went into before, we don't have any teleporters or the option to build any teleporters because that is a whole crusader mode thing, which would be fine if corruption wasn't a thing. So like the longer that we stay out here, the longer corruption affects us, and thus makes it so as it is very hard to live. So it's basically all about trying to get to point A to point B as fast as he possibly can now. We'll check out this Temple of the Good Hunt. Just because it's there. I'm kind of hoping that any of these places that we open up will also give us a place to stop, rest, and actually recover any corruption. Chances are low, but alright. Oh, right. I probably should have actually equipped it a Rouchelet while I was still in town. Armor dispersion. what sense? Right, and then everyone's under the effect of that holy symbol, which is a pretty badass holy symbol. Well, I did it dumb. Oh well. Suppose I should just be glad that everyone's now recovered from the death status. Yes, I see the giant door. Just don't want to yet approach it without collecting any loot. Even if that loot is simply midnight morale and skullberries. Don't know why they're called skullberries, they're just red. Quick saving every 5 seconds, as I can. This is rather... Yato. I was about to say that this is a rather fine-looking temple for Iristal, but... Oh, a trap.
Might be trap, might be treasure.
It was a trap, buddy. Where's this other one? Oh, more protection from chaos. Excellent. I suppose I should talk to Kyoto first. Hey, buddy. Oh, wait, what's this? The young cleric lets out a loud scream and addresses you in a quivering voice. I beg you, don't touch that. I discover the sealed door in the temple. Where does it lead? What door? Ah, the door. It leads into the cellar. There's nothing interesting behind that door. Ooh, this would actually be a good point of him just using this tool to get an answer. Yeah, he would use this as a tool of, hey, do the right thing, damn it, or I kill you. You're lying. You have a dark secret that is eating you up inside. Rid yourself of it. Something bad has happened to you, and I'm not going to harm you, but only you can help yourself. Yato gazes at you with wide, awestruck eyes and falls to his knees. Determination and contrition ring clear in his voice. I repent, Commander. I'm a prisoner of Baphomet's witch Zanidra, the senior cultists of Baphomet in their stronghold known as the Ivory Sanctum. Oh. Lovely. She came one night, threatened me, and forced me to let her into the crypt. She said that her friends would be coming here, and then she placed a curse on me. If I allow anyone other than initiated servants of Baphomet into the crypt without her permission, a brood of rats will appear in my stomach and they will gnaw me from inside out. So I panicked like a coward. I said nothing to anyone, but I know they are wrecking abominations. They are wrecking abominations in there, in my temple. But you're right, no one can help me apart from myself. My faith is strong. The next time that accursed witch comes here, I'll show her who's the bigger turnip in this field. I'll lie in wait in the crypt, and then I'll attack and burn her bones to ash. I would ask for your help, but I suppose you wouldn't want to sit around here waiting for Zanidra to appear. You have your own duties, of course, as commander. And even if I did let you into the crypt, Zanidra's curse would kill me on the spot. So I'll have to manage on my own. You can count on me. His face is alight with determination. The little priest has struck up a friendship with our enemies. He betrayed us, hid them in his own temple, and now he's been caught. What should we do with this foolish little bird caught in a snare, master? I know so many wonderful ways of inflicting pain, I scarcely know where to begin. The hunter's gaze grows hungry and predatory like a wildcat that has spotted a defenseless dove. Pure animal terror is written on Kyoto's face. The commander wouldn't let you get your claws on me, evil fiend. He is just and will hand me over to be tried as the law commands. Law? I spit on the law. Did you know that the commander and I are very close? If I ask him to give you to me, do you think he'll refuse? For the sake of some pathetic loser who's been caught working with the demons? Her voice is smug and mocking. She looks at you expectantly, her eyes sparkling with amusement. Feed into Windowag's wickedness, or side with the kid. Kind of understand it. You were a traitor once too, or have you forgotten? But here's the difference between me and this waste of air. I'm strong and useful, that's why you have shown me mercy. This coward has nothing to offer in exchange for his life. He is helpless and pathetic. Interesting. And what would you do with him? Hunter gives you a barely perceptible nod of approval and then eagerly says, I'd kill him slowly, string him up his hands and feet high above a bonfire. I'd throw logs on it that has been steeped in salt water for 5 gongs. If you cover the victim in a large well-aired fur, it can survive like that for several days, and the meat becomes more and more tender until it just falls off the bone at the slightest touch. A good, interesting way to kill. How about you? How would you do it? That'd be a little bit funny. He should die the way Zanidra promised he would, like tie a brood of hungry rats to his belly. Yes, or have a bees, you're so evil. How did such a terrible, cruel mortal become the leader of all these devout crusaders? I like it. Well, don't touch him. Thank you, Commander. I can't put into words how grateful I am. That's a fun little game, but we don't have time for any real fun. Isn't that right, Master? Well, I want to go inside the crypt. I have the key, but what right do you have to? As the commander of the crusade, I order you to give me the key. Yato guiltily hangs his head like a criminal caught in the act. With a trembling hand, he gives you the key. Don't go in there. Don't worry, I'll be exploring first and then we'll check out the crypt. You know, you'd think we'd be able to cast, like, dispel magic on him or something. I mean, sure. Not exactly something that would necessarily see Errant do or care about. But you know, young clergy and all that fun stuff. Pick the lock.
Pretty good, aren't I?
Ah, yes. Ooh, no. I saw the glowy around it and then I was like, ah, yes. More experience points by giving this to the dude. Unlocked. Ah yes, Magic Fang. Ultimate Predator. These knee pads grant their wearer +2 insight bonus on attack and damage rolls made with natural attacks against animals, magical beasts, and monstrous humanoids. It's a crying shame that no one here... Hey, this looks suspicious. Just saying. Looks suspiciously like an archway. Ah yes, how could I possibly miss out on the loot that's literally in the crate beside me? Oh, Stone Fist.
We march ahead.
That could be a fun spell. There we go, some elven notes. I don't know how many elven notes there are in the quest. Some magical essence. Belt of incredible dexterity +4. Who doesn't have a belt? Wait, why are you taking a hit? Oh, fatigue? I'm miffed at that. So miffed at that. So we could give her the belt of dexterity, more to her attack and AC. Well, not to the AC, but you know what I mean. Let's see, does anyone have... What are you again? Aspect of a bear. Forget what it is you're even supposed to be able to do. Well, the real question is, do you have restoration as a spell? You do not seem to have restoration as a spell. Do we have any restoration in the thing? Scroll of heal, scroll of restoration, scroll of lesser restoration. We have 3 total lesser restoration, and 1 restoration, so I think we're just going to heal. Cool. But that said, I think I will toss her the belt, or better aim. Then I'll toss her the other belt. A little bit more attack and a little bit more HP. Seriously though, you would think that would be able to bestow curse or smite evil, lay on hands. I just want to see if there's an actual effect, or if I can just go in there and be like, well, later, kid. Enjoy what few moments of living you have left. Or who knows, maybe I'll be ambushed when I go to do this. See, that is a... Would anyone blame me if I find a mod that just gets rid of the corruption mechanic? Because it really does annoy me to no end. Because that's a negative to the wisdom and intelligence at level 1. Let's see. No. Negative 3 to strength, dexterity, and charisma at level 2. And then an additional 2 to strength, dex, charisma, wisdom, and intelligence. Fine. Play hide and seek. Wait, what am I saying? You'll just find me right away. You want to learn to hunt? Is that it? Alright, I'll hide. I will try to remember that it is a game and not a real ambush.
I refuse to accept their statement.
Hey look, it's the thing. Nabasu. Okay. Gotta love being ambushed. I'm not exactly sure what happened there, but something terrible did. Oh my, I was kind of pegging on, yeah, that worked.
Mind over muscle.
Also worked. Arushide, back up a little bit. Yeah, well, why was
To reason.
a little bit harvesting on the fact that maybe that this place wasn't that terrible. Okay, we did get a little bit of corruption. Maybe if we talk to Kyoto, he'll have something to say about. Let's see. Lawful or evil, I shall sentence you simply to death. Yeah, this is the first time we're actually talking to him at that. I want to know everything about the temple and everything connected to it. Where to begin? The temple is dedicated to Delamere. Oh, I mean, of course, it is the temple to Iristal. Delamere was the prior was the prior of this temple. I mean, no, I am the prior to this temple, and she is like its blessed mother superior, patroness. The young man falls into a confused silence and looks pleadingly at you. What's it like to be a prior? Oh, it's terrifying. I live here alone, you see. People travel a great distance to come here. I have been given an important task. Here in the World Wound, these temples are needed more than ever, so people don't lose their faith. But that doesn't stop my legs shaking in terror. When I think of my teacher Rathamus, rest his soul, I just feel like running away. I swear I would have run long ago, but one thing keeps me here. Aristotle would not have granted me these spells for no reason. Can't let him down, or the people. I can't let them down either. As mean, but he does have a point. A pathetic child. You should have stayed home and grown turnips. Your state is no place for you. Yato grows pale, and he opens and closes his mouth wordlessly, looking like a fish. At last, the young man meekly hangs his head. You would know best, Commander. I must be truly pathetic. I should have stayed home and looked after the animals. What should I do now? Tell me about this Delamere. He lived in these parts back when Socorus was still standing. She was a priestess of Aristotle, and the Kellids deeply respected her for her hard nature and her unshakable faith. Aristotle blessed her with various wonders, and the common folk knew that she would stand up for them. Delamere did not like city life. He said cities encouraged vile deeds and corruption of the soul. He said that people ought to live in small clans where everyone knows everyone, where everyone is kin, and where every person has a duty to the rest. You can't hide your sins in a village. In a village, everyone knows what kind of person you are. She had a revelation. She would travel around the villages and see how many people lived there. If any settlement had more than 53 souls, she drove out all the rest and told them to settle elsewhere, because otherwise the villages would have grown and turned into little towns. Her methods were harsh, of course, but people still listened to her, because Aristotle himself was on her side. She had an edge to her. She single-handedly chased off whole bands of marauders that hassled villagers. After she died, the temple was built in her honor, in a place where Aristotle gifted her with his relics. They say it was here that the white stag emerged from the forest and spoke to her in a human voice, telling her that she should hunt it because it was the will of her lord. Delamere tracked that stag for 3 days and 3 nights through the forests. When she ran it to the ground, he made its antlers into a bow and its hide into armor. That bow never misses, and Aristotle himself blessed the armor so that it repels the strikes of enemies. So she's buried here, is what you're saying? Gotta be a crypt or something like that, right? Could there be any valuables lying around in there, you think? Valuables? The whole young man's voice hardens all of a sudden. There are no valuables in there, and you better stop thinking of what you're thinking just now. Fine hunter with a harsh temper, tough and successful. Better yet, someone who was morally opposed to living in those stinking piles the uplanders called cities. Sounds just like me. No, near nothing like her. Then maybe you should be buried along with her if you like her so much. What are you mumbling about? Come on, spit it out. I'm just saying a little prayer, asking Delamere for her help in an important matter. Can't say any more. Between me and the blessedness. Did she really drive people out of their villages? That's ridiculous. Yato heatedly responds, his voice trembling in anger. It's not ridiculous. It might sound strange, but Aristotle blessed Delamere alone, and he gave her wisdom and power. Yeah, everything's clear. Services as a cleric. I'll be glad to help, Commander. I have kept all of Rathmus's scrolls and even managed to learn a few of his tricks. I studied languages so that I can read foreign scrolls. Rathamus used to call me polyglutton. Never met a foreign language I didn't want to sink my teeth into. Yeah, so dude's got a lot of scrolls. I got a lot of random crap to sell now. Oh boy. So the question is he really going to pop once I try to leave? Hello. Burned ashwood. +2 quarter status grants the wielder the ability to cast Burning Arc spell at will as a 5th level wizard. Burning Arc. A spell. She would be useless in melee. And that is a lot of money. But the Burning Arc spell. God damn it. Gonna be actually try to look up the Burning Arc spell, aren't you? Well, first off, do I actually have it in her spell book already? Pretty sure it does. But this would be something she'd be able to cast at will. As opposed to 11 times per day. Shut up. 1 die 6 points of fire damage per caster level. DC is 18, but casting it from an item would be more. Oh, less, theoretically. For every additional target, reduce the number of damage dice by half. One enemy within close range. And it leaps 2 different enemies. Kind of like a weaker chain lightning, I think. Deals for every additional target, reduce the number of damage dice by half. I'm not sure I quite understand that language, but I think that's going to indicate me not buying it. So how do I open this bitch? Ah, I'm begging you, don't go in there. So we found the damn thing. That said though, I believe I'm gonna save it and call an episode here. We'll, leave him to his fate for next time. That doesn't sound a little cruel, does it? Well, Aaron's a little cruel. But thank you everyone so very much for watching. When we return, poor kid's probably gonna have a bunch of rats try to crawl out of his gut. Thank you everyone so very much for watching. I hope you guys are enjoying this series as much as I'm enjoying playing it. And as always, I hope to see you guys in the next video. Take care. Cheers.